Hello, my name is Femi Adebayo, and I'm the director for the Water for Health Improvement Project. WIP is a non-governmental organization whose aim is to improve the quality and access to drinking water in Mexico and Mexico City. As Mexico City's population continues to grow, more pressure will be put on an already stressed water system that may become more stressed due to the climate change. We propose a plan to protect Mexico from a water crisis. Now, before we go into the specifics of our project, we'll give some background information about the political, social, and economic climate in Mexico City.
Mexico is a diverse country with a rich history located in North America, just south of the United States. Mexico borders the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean to its left and right, as well as Belize and Guatemala to the south. The country has mountains with rugged terrain, plateaus, and low-lying areas, some of which are coastal and wet, and some of which are dry. There are 7 different climate zones within Mexico due to its diverse terrain and unique location. Due to the variety of different climatic zones, there are different opportunities and threats throughout the country. Mexico City, the biggest city in Mexico, is heavily populated. The population is approaching 22 million. Mexico City is located in a very dry area, and water must be imported from surrounding provinces. This offers a multitude of challenges. Mexico City sits upon a plateau. Water must be pumped up to the top of the plateau, or about 1,000 meters high. This is very expensive and hard to accomplish. Due to the large population and the arid ecosystem, the area suffers from severe water shortages. This is a threat to development in Mexico because as the population grows, water will become less accessible. Rainfall is becoming even more unpredictable due to climate change, adding a greater stress on water resources. This is evidenced through a massive drought that struck Mexico in 2009. The drought is thought to have diminished Mexico's water supply by 1/3. The unpredictable factor of nature, coupled with a dilapidated water supply system, can be very dangerous. Something must be done to change the outcome.
Mexico also suffers from poverty. There has been a steady increase in the poverty rate of Mexico. According to the government social development agency, on 2012, 45.5% of the poor in Mexico fell under the poverty line. This number increased to 46.2% in 2014 and is currently at 52.3%. The numbers show that there has not been enough economic growth to improve the lives of Mexicans. The number of poor are growing, and those poor people are moving into cities for better opportunities. The poverty rate declined to about 61% in rural areas, but rose to 41% in urban areas. This increase in urban migration is important because it suggests that the urban areas in Mexico are not doing well enough. This puts an even greater stress on the water resources for big cities like Mexico City. It also causes a great gap between the rich and poor's access to clean water resources. The Mexican financial crisis during the last decades has limited investments in water infrastructure. Failed government plans to privatize water have been unsuccessful, and a large-scale change needs to occur.
In Mexico, 60% of water comes from a drying aquifer. The rest is imported from another province. Mexico removes water from the aquifer 2 times faster than the aquifer can be naturally replenished. Over the last half century, this extraction has caused Mexico City to sink 40 feet. Infrastructure is impacted by land subsidence and results in leaks which make water pipes inefficient. 40% of the water available to Mexico City is lost to small leaks. In addition to land subsidence and leaking issues, there are distribution issues with the limited water resources. Water tankers collect water from outside sources and distribute it to individual homes or neighborhoods, much like a pool filling company. Each truck can carry enough water for 2 homes for a week. However, this method is expensive and inefficient. Many people complain that the water often comes days after their request. The other option for households is to obtain water from a self-service system from a municipal tap. This process often includes long walks to the water source and use of animals, such as donkeys, to carry the water back. Many people only have the resources to collect enough for a few days. The water issues are compounded by the fact that water treatment plants in Mexico are not trusted. In other words, people are afraid of drinking the tap water. Mexico has the highest bottled water consumption of any country. This distrust of tap water stems from the fact that less than 10% of the city's wastewater is treated. The rest of the city's sewage water floods rivers and often poor neighborhoods. This results in health hazards such as waterborne diseases, as well as social injustices, as the poor bear the brunt of these impacts. In the future, water conflicts are expected to lead to social unrest as distribution becomes more unequal and water resources more scarce.
To combat water access issues and inequality, WIP has a twofold plan. Part 1 includes improving water infrastructure, and Part 2 includes working with communities. For Part 1, we will first spend $300 million on establishing new water treatment plants and ensuring full working capacity of old plants. We aim to restore trust in municipal water resources. Next, we will create a task force with a value of $100 million to fix leaks in current water infrastructure. This will in turn create many new jobs. We also plan to install new water infrastructure to other areas of Mexico City. This will have a worth of $300 million. Additionally, we will help fund a crackdown on illegal connections to the water supply. This will cost about $100 million. Part 2 will begin with initiating a disaster response plan that includes water distribution centers in the event of a natural disaster, such as an earthquake. If this cut off water resources to some neighborhoods, the water distribution centers would then distribute water to the neighborhoods. We will also work with communities to promote water conservation education in Mexico City, especially in elementary school classrooms, to develop an awareness of the importance of water conservation in young Mexico City residents. Finally, we will install rainwater collection and storage tanks for the poor to increase their access to water resources. This will cost about $200 million. These projects will enable meaningful change to the quality and availability of water in Mexico City.